Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing on this wonderful Thursday morning? One thing real quick before we get into it, I've seen a couple of comments of people mentioning the beautiful mug we have here.
Once again, nobody's commented on that. You're just trying to be able to talk about it.
No, there's definitely a lot of comments. We'll flash them up on the screen right now. But who do you think this mug looks like the most? Leave it in the comments below. I'm curious to hear.
Show it up to that camera.
Oh, right there. See?
Back by your face. Yep. There we go.
My gosh, it's so creepy.
It's terrifying.
So creepy.
Our sister made that.
Yes,
it's really bad.
Modeling after someone. Let's see if you can guess who it is. But we're glad that you're here with us. Again, to reiterate, we are out of town this week, but we are still making these videos to give you something to go into your day looking at the world through a gospel lens. And today we're going to be taking a look at one of the weirdest verses in the Book of Mormon, in my opinion, talking about how everything in the land was cursed to become slippery. We're going to be talking about what that even means and how it can relate to each of our lives. I'm glad you're here with us. My name is Jackson Wayne Paul, and welcome to Latter Daily Saints. So Hayden, how does it feel to be in the same studio as Rooster from Top Gun?
Yeah,
don't answer that.
Like
don't answer that. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in a position to open up your scriptures with us, I highly recommend. You know the drill. If you're not, pull over right now. This is way more important than wherever you're driving. Just kidding. I'll read them aloud for you, and I've gotten way better at reading aloud, as all of you know that have been here since day one.
We got him a leapfrog, if you guys remember those.
Yes.
It's a leapfrog. It's really helping them, and we also got hooked on phonics as well.
Yes, thank you to all those resources.
Sponsored by Leapfrog.
Sponsored by Leapfrog. So we're going to be opening up to Helaman chapter 13, verse 30. And we're just going to get right into it. It says, "Yea, behold, the anger of the Lord is already kindled against you. Behold, he hath cursed the land because of your iniquity. And behold, the time cometh that he curseth your riches, that it becometh slippery, that ye cannot hold them. And in the days of your poverty ye cannot retain them. And in the days of your poverty ye shall cry unto the Lord, and in vain shall ye cry, for your desolation is already come upon you, and your destruction is made sure. And then shall ye weep and howl in that day, saith the Lord of hosts. And then shall ye lament and say, Oh, that I had repented and had not killed the prophets and stoned them and cast them out. Yea, in that day shall ye say, Oh, that we had remembered the Lord our God in the day that he gave us our riches. And then they would not have become slippery, for we should lose them. For behold, our riches are gone from us." So, he says this curse is cometh upon the land, and that their riches have become slippery, that they cannot retain them. And in verse 34, it kind of expounds upon this, and it's pretty strange. It says, "Behold, we layeth a tool here, and on the morrow it is gone. And behold, our swords are taken from us in the day we have sought them for battle." So, am I to understand that this curse upon the land was so much so that you lay down a hammer on the ground and then you go back the next day and it's just vanished? Like, is that what's happening here? What do you think the likelihood is of that?
I mean, if you ask our dad where his tools are, that's probably what he's thinking of. It's just because all their kids are building things and not putting their dad's tools back.
If any of you had been privileged enough to spend some time in the Paul house growing up, you would have heard some wild interactions about us definitely just mistreating our dad's tools. Dad, we apologize if you're watching this. But he continues on in verse 35. It says, "Yea, we have hid up our treasures, and they have slipped away from us because of the curse of the land. Oh, that we had repented in the day that the word of the Lord came unto us. For behold, the land is cursed, and all things are become slippery, and we cannot hold them." And actually, I'm going to finish here in 37. It says, "Behold, we are surrounded by demons. Yea, we are encircled about by the angels of him who hath sought to destroy our souls. Behold, our iniquities are great. O Lord, canst thou not turn away thine anger from us? And this shall be your language in them days." In them days.
Is that really what it says?
Yeah, but this is the Royal Scots version, so that might... I don't know. In them days.
It says in those days in ours.
Oh, okay.
But I like in them days. That's way cooler.
That's awesome.
In them days.
So we have this weird curse that has fallen upon the land. Everything's slippery. Dish soap is raining from the sky. They can't hold on to anything. It just slips away. They lay a pickaxe down. The next day they come back, it's gone. It's like, what's going on here? And so I'm like, instead of thinking about this literally, what can we learn from this on a meta principle type level? And when I read the verse 34, it kind of shed a little bit more light on how I should look at this personally. It says, behold, we layeth the tool here, and on the morrow it is gone. And behold, our swords are taken from us in the day we have sought them for battle. And so I started to think about this as like, what kind of, I guess, tools do I use in my life? What are my swords of battle that aren't based upon eternal principles, that in the day that I need them the most, are they not going to be available for me? And for example, I have struggled a lot in my life with pornography and overusage of technology and things that really I can feel in real time that they erode my soul. And I think about if we become dependent on things like that to be a source of comfort or solace or anything like that, I can definitely relate to seeking for those in the day of some sort of battle of anxiety or loneliness or sadness or whatever have you, depression, and they ultimately leave you feeling more empty. And to me, reading these verses, I see that it is so needful to be able to develop habits and to practice turning to the Lord and to the scriptures and to things that will actually fill our souls and to heal our wounded souls and to give us comfort in the day that we need them most, if that makes any sense. What do you think about that, Hayden?
Yeah, I think, a big reason why we turn to things like pornography, some people to substance abuse, some people to Netflix, YouTube, whatever it is because it gives momentary relief for a lot of times chronic problems, right? And at the end of the day, we read that verse last week on one of the episodes about how in the last days the devil will not support his people, right? It's in Alma 10.
Alma 30. I'm
30.
actually just going to read it real quick.
Yeah, read that verse real quick. Because in that verse, it just shows that like all of these things that we use as a replacement for Christ, that, the brazen serpent, it's so simple. Look up at it and you will live. We're like, no, I need something different. Everything we use will eventually lead to our demise.
Yeah. So in verse 60 of Alma 30, it says, and thus we see the end of him who perverteth the ways of the Lord, talking about Korihor. And he continues on saying, and thus we see that the devil will not support his children at the last day, but doth speedily drag them down to hell. And so I strongly believe that, at least when I was reading this and trying to figure out how I can apply it to my life, it's a call out to each one of us to figure out how to rely on the Lord and develop habits of going to the Lord in prayer, reading the scriptures, serving others, doing things that we know that as we turn to, they will never not help us, if that makes sense, and fulfill us. And I just love the musings of Nephi in 2 Nephi after his father passed away, and he's just kind of lamenting and kind of crashing out a little bit, Nephi. And he says in verse 34, O Lord, I have trusted in thee, and I will trust in thee forever. I will not put my trust in the arm of flesh, for I know that cursed is he that putteth his trust in the arm of flesh. Yea, cursed is he that putteth his trust in man, or maketh flesh his arm. Yea, I know that God will give liberally to him that asketh. Yea, my God will give me if I ask not amiss. Therefore I will lift up my voice unto thee. Yea, I will cry unto thee, O God, the rock of my righteousness. Behold, my voice shall forever ascend up unto thee. my rock and mine everlasting God. Amen. Amen, Nephi. And so if you gain anything from this, know that it's best to develop habits of turning to the Lord besides the things that the world offers, because there will come a day in which we seek these tools or these weapons of comfort or what have you in the day that we need them for battle, and likely they won't give us that same comfort. But God will. And so...
And put away your dad's tools. Any kids watching, like if you're gonna borrow your dad's tools, just put them back where they are. Back. I think I actually have like 2 of dad's tools at my house right now.
Anyways, remember, if you're not looking at the world through a gospel lens, you're only getting half the story. God bless you.